Yes, guys, welcome back to another stream. The Tixki Burgerstein redemption arc starts now. Yes, that's right, people. Tixki been getting a little bit of criticism in this transfer window. Acting a little bit slow. Where's our DM? Well, the DM is now sorted. İlkay Gündoğan expected to be announced as a Manchester City player again today. But João Cancelo, a problem player for this football club ever since his little bust up with Pep Guardiola. Clearly, Pep Guardiola doesn't want him around the squad, despite what he might tell you in the press conference, evidenced by the fact he wasn't even in the matchday squad for the Community Shield. Neither was he in the matchday squad for the first game of the season against Chelsea. I've said for quite some time that João Cancelo will only ever be loaned from this football club until his contract finally ends in 2027. City can get loan fees to try and mitigate the cost of the amortization that we're still currently obviously paying on the books for João Cancelo. However, guys, I'm wrong again. There's a little bit of a theme coming here, yeah, that I've been wrong about a lot of stuff in this transfer window. I didn't think we'd sign any more players. We signed İlkay Gündoğan and might sign a striker. And I've said for a while that we'll never sell João Cancelo. We will only ever loan this guy. However, I am massively wrong. We're going to discuss everything about João Cancelo, the deal, the Tixki Burgerstein redemption arc, guys. But first of all, make sure you guys are smashing that like button. Come on, man. 300 people in the building already. Make sure you guys are subscribing to the channel as well, because we're less than 500 subscribers away now from 20K subs, and it'd be amazing if we could get it by my birthday. I don't know if we are. My birthday's in 6 days. Not 100% sure we are going to get it by my birthday, but we could get very close. We could give it our best shot. Make sure you're sharing the streams around with your mum, with your nan, with whoever, to try and get me to 20K, man. Let's have a look who we've got in the building. Big up to Connor, big up to Cappy, Thomas James, MCFR TV, big up to Party Time, man. Big up to Iklas, I think it is. Big up to you. Big up to Nam. Big up to Robert McCluskey. Morning, pal. Big up to Ben, Ashaz, Sleepy Son, Nikhil, Foggy's in the building. Big up to Callum, Flash, Okayness, Mike, Larkin, Paul, Steve, Jess, Ryan, Marcus, Sai. Who else we got in here? Rodrigo, Sherwin, Seventh Capone, Chavron's in the building. Big up to Okayness, Ace, big up to Mintan, Afro Knight, Cole, Benjamin, Marshy Boy, Doofus with Net Spend FC. It's another trophy, bro. It's another trophy. Who else we got in here? We got anyone else that I've not read out? Big up to Ruben, True Blue Tie. Good to see you, my man. Big up to Local Respect, Gustavo, Lauren, Speedy Waffles, Man, Farid, Ali, Luke. Big up to Luke from the NIML pod. Not in my lifetime pod. I always forget what it means, bro. Big up to Luke. Big up to Charlotte. Eve is in the building. Big up to Zane, AP, Flash. Holy damn, yo. Oh, 20 gifted off the rip. 20 gifted off the rip. Guys, W's in the chat, man. I need flames, W's in the chat. Mansour coming in with a 20 bomb off of the rip of the stream. We've got 99 likes, but 20 gifted dropped in by Mansour. Holy. Oh, maybe Mansour's just buzzing that João Cancelo's left. I don't know. I don't know why Mansour's dropped 20 bomb off the rip on this stream. I mean, I'll take it 100%. Maybe you just wanted João Cancelo out of the football club. Mansour, big up, man. I always appreciate the support. And I see you as well on other channels. I've seen you on Hugh as well, gifting there, man. Big up for all the support that you give the City content creator community on this platform, man. It means a lot to us all, man. It really does. Guys, smash a like. W's in the chat for Mansour with the 20 bomb off of the rip. Guys, Tixki redemption is here. It's already happened. It's already happened with the İlkay Gündoğan situation. I can't believe you dropped 20 bomb off the rip. That's mad. Big up Mansour, man. Big up to Mansour. You've thrown me off. Mansour, you've thrown me off. Right, look at this, guys. Look at this. Unbelievable scenes. Unbelievable. See, I wake up this morning, yeah, actually not feeling too bad, and I see this news dropping exclusiva bombazzo from City Report, who I think we all know by now, clearly City Report have some sort of connection, yeah, in Saudi Arabia that's able to be getting these guys this information. So again, I take this with quite a high level of validity. Actually as well, we're being told now by some people that fee of 35 million quid might actually be a little low. They reckon it might actually be 40 million euros, not 35 million euros. So actually, that fee that City Report are putting up there might actually be low. Now, it might be right. 40 mil might be high, but basically it could be even better than initially reported. Just to let everyone know as well, yeah, 40 million quid, 40 million euros in the GBP world is 34 million pounds. 34 million pounds. If this is true, which again, I've got no reason to doubt the City Report guys. They've got multiple sort of stories this summer regards to the Edison deal, Saudi Arabia. They were the first ones to report that the deal was off with Saudi Arabia. They reported some interest in Kyle Walker, but they said it was only interest. It was only negotiation. They didn't say a bid had gone in or anything. Clearly, they know the stuff when it comes to the Saudi Arabian market, and they know what's going on in Saudi Arabia, right? We know that. We don't have to discuss the validity of this. 40 mil euros, 34 million quid, and even if it's a 35 million, right? So say it's not 40 mil, say it is 35 as they've reported, that's still 30 million pounds. That is still 30 million quid. That is unreal business. Unreal business. Because this is a player that we have no negotiating leverage. We have zero leverage over this guy because we know we better not want him, man. And when you're actively trying to get rid of someone, it's difficult to then say, yeah, but we demand this fee because you don't want the player. Do you know what I mean? This is obviously, you've seen a little bit of a different scenario, of course, right? But you see this at Barcelona with Ilkay Gundogan. They need Ilkay Gundogan off the books. They need his wages gone. They need that spot freed in the squad. So if they say, right, we need you gone, they can't exactly say, right, but we're demanding 20 million pound, Ilkay, because obviously then it's like, well, hang on a minute, like, no one's going to pay 20 million quid and you want me gone. You need to let him go on a free. Hence why I've said for probably over a year now, if I'm being honest with you, that I only think we'll ever loan this guy out because no one's going to pay for him. We'll just keep loaning him, get loan fees that will cover his sort of costs on the books, and then eventually he'll probably just leave on a free transfer. And I also thought, right, that if we did sell him, it'd be for like 20 million pounds or something like that. Well, we'd just get absolutely rinsed. Or maybe someone told me that he's got 3 years left on his contract and each year is worth 7 million quid on the books. You know how it's all like this amortization stuff nowadays, yeah? So it's 7 million quid a year is basically Cancelo. So 3 years, that's 21 mil. So maybe City could sell him for 21 mil just to basically break even. To get this sort of money for the player is absolutely incredible. And listen, I know he's a good player. On his day, he's one of the best fullbacks in the world. And that's why actually it's a little bit sad, this story. If we're being honest with you, yeah, this story is actually a little bit sad in my opinion because João Cancelo, not 2-3 years ago, we was calling him one of the best fullbacks in the world. And yes, we all know about his defensive issues at times. He cost us big goals in big games and sometimes he could switch off or whatever. But there's absolutely no denying this guy's quality on the ball. There's no denying his chance creation, even pops up with a few goals. But at the end of the day, you can't be a problem player. You cannot cause issues in the dressing room. You can't be moaning at Pep because he's picking another player over you. And that does not work for anyone. We heard rumours that Laporte might have been like that as well, but not to the same degree as João Cancelo. Maybe Cancelo was a little bit more forceful with his opinions, whereas Cancelo was just a bit like moany a little bit, hence why he left as well. But you can't have that in the dressing room. And of course, now, you look at where would this guy even play at City if he was to stay? Because, even if he stayed, would you play him left back? Potentially, he's played there for City a few times, but Gvardiol is absolutely slamming it at the left back position right now. Fantastic last year. He doesn't look like he's dropping off at all this year, albeit we've only played a couple of games. You've got Nathan Ake there if you really want that solid 1v1 defender, if you wanted to change it slightly. On the right side, well, we've got Rico Lewis now, and I think Pep Guardiola really, really, really likes Rico Lewis. I do. I think he's a fantastic prospect and a player that could be potentially play right back at this football club for the next 10 years. So you got to look at where would Cancelo even play? And the question is nowhere. And again, there's two parts to this story. The first part is fantastic by Tixki. Fantastic to get this money in for a player that we don't want anymore is unreal business. and he's already sold Julian Alvarez for 80 million. Yeah, I think Tiki, providing he gets this Gundogan deal over the line, which obviously it is done, it's getting announced today. He's got Savinho in for what, 25, 30 mil. Potentially will buy a backup striker, although we don't know if that's actually happening yet. You know, you've got to look at this, guys, and say, is this a 10 out of 10 window? Is this a 10 out of 10 window? If we get a backup striker, and I don't know how some people in the chat will have different opinions on the backup striker. Like some people will really want one. Some people are not that fussed about the backup striker. You know, is it a 10 out of 10 window? I mean, financially, it has to be a 10 out of 10 window. Now, you know my thoughts on the whole financial stuff. Like, I don't really care about it that much, but you have to give credit. Even someone like me, who's constantly on these streams telling you guys, like, don't really be worried about the money too much. It's not that important to us as fans. Like, at the end of the day, we're not getting the money. City have loads of capacity to buy players. It's not that important. But ultimately, you have to be able, I mean, myself as well, you have to be able to recognize when deals are being done and they are fantastic deals. Selling Julian Alvarez for 80 million, great deal, fantastic sale. Selling Cancelo for 35, 40 million euros, unreal business considering the position that we're in with the player, i.e. we don't want him. Getting Savinho in for 25, 30 mil. We might have had a helping hand there because obviously we bought him from our sister club, but still acknowledge the deal. Yeah. And obviously if we get Gundogan back on a free transfer, unreal deal. If we get a backup striker for 15, 20 mil that can do a job, you know, for certain games, certain moments in the season, that'll be unreal business as well. So honestly, man, you've got to take your hat off to Tiki and say, well done. You know, yes, you messed up massively last year with the midfield position. You left us short. You know, we didn't have a proper DM. You let Gundogan go on a free. We missed out on Jude. We missed out on Rice. We didn't get Paqueta. Obviously not his fault because of the gambling charges. But that's in the past now. You got to look at this transfer window. And for me, honestly, guys, I'm sitting in now thinking, what more can this guy really have done? I'm looking around the squad, and I said this yesterday on multiple streams. I said, where can we improve our squad now? I think this squad is literally complete. I think Tiki's done a fantastic job of building this squad up over the last 2 years. Yes, obviously, I still think that next summer and maybe the summer after, we're going to be spending a lot, and there's going to be a lot of churning of players leaving, players coming in because of the ages of some of these players. But that we can worry about that next year. And ultimately, the money is now there. We know the money's there. We know the money's there. It has to be there. It has to be there. Why? Well, look at how much money we've spent over the last couple of years. We've not really spent that much money. You know what I mean? And even when we have spent money, we get loads of money in through player sales. I mean, look at this, guys. Let me share the screen, yeah? So far this summer, yeah, we spent 25 million euros on Savinho, right? Let's say we spend another 20 mil on a striker. Let's just pretend like we're signing a striker and it costs 20 mil, right? We're looking at 45 million euros of spend, right? That's 38 million pounds, and our summer is over. Our summer would be over. You go to sales, we've already made 116 million euros of sales, plus the 40 million for Cancelo should this deal actually go through. It's over 150 million worth of sales. Our net spend would be in profit of around 110 million euros. Let's have a look at last year. Last year, obviously, we did spend a little bit more money, 259 million euros, right? But again, you look at the sales, 125 million worth of sales in. So again, your net spend there, if you look at your net spend, it's what, 125, 130 million net spend. So over the last 2 years, if you look at this summer and you look at the whole of last season, including January, we've not spent any money on the net sale, net spend thing over the last 2 summers. The season before that, 155 million spent when we signed Erling Haaland. Sales, 162 million. You know what I mean? So the money's there because in terms of what we're spending and what we're bringing in, we're actually making more money on player trading. And this is what I've said. I've told you this for a while. Football is now becoming a trading game. It's becoming a football card trading game. When you used to get your cards as a kid, yeah, you go news agent and buy a pack of cards. You open the cards and see what players you got, and then you put it in your book and try to fill. That is what it's. And then you swapped it with your mates. Oh, I've got 2 of these players. I need that guy. You got 2 of that. That's swap. It's becoming a football trading game. Yeah. And ultimately, I genuinely think the way football is going is the most successful clubs in Europe will become the clubs that are best at player trading, because they'll get so much money in, they'll be able to spend money on the better players, and therefore you've got the better players, you'll win stuff. And City right now, if you look over the last 2-3 years, our net spend is like that, if not at a slight profit. And that is insane, because we all know no one's delusional. You're not delusional. Everyone in this chat knows that in a year's time, we've got some big, big, big transfers to make. We're looking at the Kevin De Bruyne replacement. It's, for me, the only person you can look at there, well, there's two players right now at the moment. Obviously, more players might arrive this year if they play well. But you're looking at Wirtz, you're looking at Musiala. It's £100 million absolute bare minimum right now, guys. Yeah, so that's 100, and that's probably slightly low, if I'm being honest with you. Musiala's only got a year left on his deal, so you might be able to get him for 100. I think Wirtz has 2-3 years left, so he's probably looking at 120, 130. Big transfers. John Stones, what's happening with him? If he has another injury hit season, if he has another season this year where he's just not fit because he keeps on getting injured, we'll sit and look at that and say, listen, we're going to have to pull the plug on it, sell him, and bring someone else in. You're looking at a John Stones replacement then. I mean, come on. You're 50, 60, 70 million. Anywhere in that bracket. You're up to potentially 170 on an attacking midfielder and a centre-back. Kyle Walker replacement. Yeah? A decent one. If you go for a ready-made type player, it's 40 to 60 million all day long. If Jack Grealish doesn't have a particular successful year, we'll sit and look at him and say, we need to move you on. You're not performing at the level that we need you to. A winger, you're going to have to get someone that's at that level already who can come in and play. Don't think they'd go for someone. They might do, but I don't think they'd go for another young player, considering we've got Bob, Savinho, and Doku, who are all pretty young wingers. How much is that going to cost you? Probably 60. You look at someone maybe like a Gordon, he's 70, 80 million. So we know as a football club, we know as a fan base, yeah, because we can look at the squad and we can look at who potentially is at risk of leaving next year due to form and who potentially might leave due to age or injuries, and look at how much it's going to cost to replace those players. And we're talking big money. So then you've got to look at, well, do we have that money available? And the evidence tells me that we do have that money available, because we've not spent, in terms of net spend, a great deal. And in fact, if you do the basic maths on the back of a cigarette packet, it's looking at actually we might have made a profit on these player trading deals over the last few years. So honestly, man, for me, I genuinely think like this is such an exciting time to be a Manchester City fan. And yes, we've got the 115 charges over our heads right now, and we know that that is a stressful situation for every City fan around the world, right? We need to know what's going on with that. But if we can come out of that unscathed, yeah, I genuinely think these next years of Manchester City, I think it's one of the most exciting periods in our club's history. And that's insane, considering the fact that back in 2008, we were bought by Sheikh Mansour, and that was an amazing time for all City fans. We've seen how exciting that was. We won the FA Cup and League under Roberto Mancini. We brought Pep Guardiola to the football club, one of the greatest managers that's ever lived, and now, in my opinion, probably the greatest manager that's ever lived. If we can get through this 115, we've got all this money just ready to be invested into the team. We're getting a new generation of players coming through. You got your Rico Lewis's, Savinho, Jeremy Doku, Foden, Haaland. These players are still so young. We'd actually look at these guys. Erling Haaland's been here, 3 years already or something like that. He's still only, 23, 24, something like that. Savinho, 19, Rico Lewis, 19, 20, Doku, 22, Foden, 22, 23. I think it's such an exciting time to be a Manchester City fan. Like I say, I'm not delusional. I know this 115 is still over our heads and we need that sorted. But if we get through that unscathed, yeah, I genuinely think that this is, people look at this and say, how long can this dominance go on for Manchester City? See, dominating this Premier League, winning 6 out of the last 7 league titles. How long can this go on? It's surely going to end soon. I genuinely think the only way this ends is if the 115 gets us. And we might get found guilty, we get kicked out of the league, or we get a massive point deduction, or whatever. Something bad happens. If we come out of that and we come out unscathed, who's stopping us right now? I mean, you look at Arsenal, for example, and Arsenal are a fantastic team. They've got great players. They've got a manager that's getting them playing in a good way, and they're competing at the top now for Premier Leagues. But every time they have a transfer window, I don't know about you guys, I always come away from the transfer window with Arsenal thinking they've not done enough. They never do enough. Now, obviously, the window is still open for another 8 days or so, but I just think City right now, we are poised to continue the Premier League dominance and potentially take it to another level. I really, really do. And I'm so excited as a City fan, man. I'm so excited. I think you should all be excited, man. Do you know what I mean? So, yeah, Cancelo, get this money in. If we can get this money in for João Cancelo, it is honestly a fantastic deal. It is a fantastic deal. One that every single City fan out there should be praising Tixki for. Because, listen, let's be honest as well. Tixki takes a lot of flack off our fan base, and sometimes it's valid and sometimes it's not. Yeah. And to be honest, more than often, it's probably not valid. But there are times, you know, like last year when he left us short, when he bought Matthias Nunes and Calvin Phillips, that we look at it and go, what's going on here? But everyone makes a mistake, right? He's not going to have 100% hit rate. He's not going to go through his whole career and every single player he signs is a gem. You're not going to find these Julian Alvarez's for 15 million and flog them for 82 years later every time. So you're going to make mistakes sometimes. But this transfer window is currently going down as a fantastic window. And yes, a lot of people maybe want a striker. Some people don't want Walker to stay. But listen, if Walker stays, I know some of you guys don't like him, yeah, for various different reasons. But Rico Lewis is here now as well. So we've got a right back there. And I've told you this before about Rico Lewis. You need to trust the guy. He's been here 3 years now. He's been playing for City now for 3 years. And how many times has this guy put a foot wrong? So it's not like we're desperate to go into the market for a right back. We've got Akanji that can play there as well. I think this squad is brilliant. I think with the squad that we've assembled is brilliant. I think it's going to be a super exciting season. The fan base is absolutely gassed right now. Yeah, I'm speaking to City fans, man. People messaging me on Twitter, on Instagram, saying, "LB, I'm so excited for Saturday. Ilkay Gundogan, but I'm so excited for it. I've got City fans in the chat. I've got City fans in the live stream. I got City fans in the comments of videos buzzing about this season, and I can see it as well when I'm speaking to Arsenal fans, man. I can see it. They know that City now, yeah, are just on this level where we're all just buzzing. The club morale is at an all-time high right now with the signing of Ilkay Gundogan. Everyone is gassed. I cannot imagine what it must be like now as a City player going into training and you've got Ilkay Gundogan back. Do you know what I mean? I just feel like this season could be a special season. And again, we've got this 115 over our heads. We need that done. We need to come out of that unscathed. That is the one thing that could potentially derail this current progress and this excitement and enthusiasm about not just this season, but future seasons ahead. But if we can come out of that unscathed, I think we're in for a great next 5, 6, 7 years. I really, really do. Let's have a look at some of your comments, man. Let's see what you guys are saying. Oswaldia says the capable backup striker makes this window 11 out of 10. That's it, man, 100%. Scotland MTFC says, shame Cancelo had a bad attitude because I was looking back on some of our games from 3 seasons ago and he was sick. 100%, man. I said it at the start of the stream, Scotland, yeah. This guy is a talented footballer and it's such a shame that he's obviously got these gremlins where he, clearly, he causes disruption. Or we don't fully know. We don't want to speculate too much on what he does. But clear, I mean, come on, look how many clubs he's played for. Why are Barcelona not busting a gut to try and get him back? Why are Bayern Munich not trying to get him in? Why are no top teams around Europe trying to get him in? He's one of the most talented left backs, right backs I've ever seen on the ball going forward. There's clearly an issue there, man. What it is, I don't know. But you're spot on, man. Some of his assists, mate, are unreal. Charlotte says, get a striker. It's a 9 out of 10 window. The one off is because Alvarez was so good and no option obligation to buy on the Phillips loan deal. Okay, fair comment. Steve M says, what if Cancelo says no? Isn't the party premature? Well, first of all, it's not a party, Steve. I'm not having a party because Cancelo's leaving. But the problem is if Cancelo says no, what's he doing? Because Pep Guardiola said no one wants him. Pep Guardiola said there's been no contact from any club regarding João Cancelo. No contact. So if Cancelo can stay, but Cancelo's not going to be playing for Manchester City this year. Yeah, he's get that Raheem Sterling treatment in that you're not playing. You're not in Pep's plans. And I understand why he's not in Pep's plans, to be honest with you. So I think maybe I reckon this deal potentially might go down to the wire because Cancelo might hold out and see if a European team comes in for him. And if no European team comes in for him, he'll make his move to Saudi Arabia. So potentially, I mean, he might not. He might just be like, you know what, sack this, get me out of Europe. I want to go to Saudi Arabia and play football and chill. But he might just say to City, he might just say to Saudi, hang fire. I'd ideally prefer to stay in Europe. Let's see if any European teams come in towards it. But then again, what European team is paying 40 million euro for João Cancelo? It's not happening, is it? It's not going to happen. So, yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Dash says, I don't think it's realistically a 10 out of 10 window, in my opinion. In terms of outgoings, they have done very well, which makes it a 5. Gundo makes it a 2 for an A forward, and a forward make it a 1. For me, 8 out of 10 window still. Be interesting to know what you would take there to get it up to a 10 out of 10. Let's have a look at some of the super chats as well, and member chats that have come in. Big up for all the support again. Mansour coming in with a 20 bomb right at the start of the stream, man. Appreciate the support. Mansour. LB says we should get Alphonso Davies with the 30 million quid. But listen, the day that we sign a left back at this football club, and I'm not talking a Sergio Gomez left back, I'm talking proper real McCoy left back, yeah? Real Deal. Then we're having a party on this channel. Yeah, we're having a party because I've not seen a proper left back at this club consistently play, because Mendy didn't consistently play because he was always injured, since the Gael Clichy Kolarov days. Yeah, because Zinchenko's not a left back, he was an attacking midfielder. Delph was a midfielder. Ake's, for me, isn't really a left back, he's a centre back that can play left back. Gavardio's clearly a centre back. Yeah, so when we sign a left back, it's party time on the channel. Alphonso Davies, listen, the problem if you bring him in again, what demands is he going to make in terms of playing time? Can we give him what he wants? Can we give him what he wants in terms of the minutes? Because if he come in, bro, I'm not being funny, yeah? Would he start straight away over Josko Gvardiol? I mean, why does Josko Gvardiol deserve to be dropped? He doesn't. He'd have to compete. I mean, I'll take him 100%, but I just don't believe that City are in the market for that higher profile player. And this was confirmed the other day. I seen City Extra tweet it. I can't remember who it was. It might have been Lou Martin or someone like that. Say Pep feels that the squad now is at maximum capacity in terms of top level players. And if he brings in any more, it's going to cause issues because he can't guarantee them playing time. And that's why we're looking at a player like Kyogo, yeah, the striker, who, if he comes in, he's not going to be making mad demands because he knows he's not going to be playing ahead of Erling Haaland. He's just going to get what he's given type thing. So when I do agree with that. I think we're at maximum capacity there in terms of players. But who knows, man? Maybe next year, if John Stones was to leave next year, you move Gvardiol into centre back, and then you buy a left back. Potentially could be a thing. I don't know. I also think though Pep Guardiola really likes this whole centre back playing at full back because it means that you can be more versatile with the player. You can play them in more positions. If Josko Gvardiol doesn't get selected at left back, right, and he picks Ake, he's still got a chance of playing centre back. Now I know that we've not seen much of Gvardiol at centre back, but that is still a very, very valid option for Pep Guardiola. So Gvardiol has 2 positions that he could play in his team, left back and centre back. If you buy a full back like Alphonso Davies, he can only play left back really, innit? So if he doesn't pick him left back, that's it. Alphonso Davies ain't playing. So I think, again, in terms of squad harmony, it's good to have players like Akanji. It's good to have players like Bernardo Silva, Phil Foden, who can play in 2, 3, sometimes 4 positions, because then you can keep the player happy because you're playing them. Yeah, the player might want to play in this position. The player might be like, I don't want to play there, I want to play here. But they'd rather be playing than not playing at all. So you can keep the players more happy. You can keep the players content because you're giving them more minutes. If you buy a player that has a specific position, Mahrez was a bit of a sort of case on this. He could only really play right wing. If he don't play right wing because he goes Bernardo or he goes Foden, he ain't playing, mate. He ain't playing in the squad. You know, Foden can play left wing, left attacking mid, right attacking mid, and false 9. He's got 5 positions Phil Foden can play. So he's more than likely going to get in the team because you'll fit him in somewhere. You know, big up to Alan as well with the super chat. Says need Pep to extend his contract. Well, mate, I don't know. Obviously, I've not heard anything on this, but when you look at the way that Pep Guardiola is speaking in his press conferences, you hear the words that he's saying, the way he says it, the smile on his face, the business and the squad that the club have built for him. I mean, unless he's just bored or something, I'm now leaning towards he's going to sign a new deal. To be honest with you, I'm looking at this thinking, I think he's going to sign a new contract. I think he's going to sign a new contract because, bro, you can't let this squad, man, just go to some other guy and take your work. You've built this squad, bro. Yeah, you built this squad. You built this team. And it's a fantastic team that is capable of just dominating the league. It's capable of winning the Champions League. And you know, a lot of these players are young. Yeah, we spoke about the ones that need replacing in a year or two because of their age, but a lot of these players are young development. Sabinho could become one of the greatest right wingers we've seen. You're just going to let this be taken over by another manager to just win when it could be you. So I don't know, man. Going off the way he's speaking in press conferences, going off how happy he looks and the enthusiasm at which he speaks, I'm leaning towards he's going to sign a new deal. Could be wrong. Could be wrong. Not heard anything on it. It is only my opinion, but that's the vibe I'm getting, bro. 100%. That's the vibe I'm getting. Big up for the donation, Al. Chicken Wing says that website is wrong with ourselves. A lot of players we sold are not there, like the academy players. Yes, some of the academy players are not on there. Some of the ones that are like real fringe players are not on there. So you are right, Chicken Wing. There's more players that you can add on that you could but the benefit to us, isn't it? Because it means more money in. But yeah, some of the players it doesn't include. You are right on that one, bro. Build to Marcus Ninja as well with a member chat 7 months, man. He says, we're living in the most blessed timeline. Other than Real Madrid, I don't know anyone else who is well run a city. Tiki, I'm sorry I ever doubted you. I'm telling you, man, it's the redemption arc of Tiki, man. I'm going to learn his surname. No, 100%. 100%. This period, man, like I said before, if you get through this 115 unscathed, right? I believe we're entering a period where we can literally dominate for the next decade. And that's insane because we've already just dominated for the last decade anyway. But what's stopping us, mate? What's stopping us? I mean, I'm not being funny. You look at the teams, yeah? Liverpool are now not serious. I'm sorry, Liverpool fans in the chat. Your club is not serious. And you know they're not serious because you've signed nobody. Yeah? You've signed nobody. And 3 of your best 4 players are out of contract. And there's a lot of rumours that Alisson might leave next year as well. They're not serious. I genuinely think Liverpool are going into managed decline. I think this year they'll be okay because they've already got the players. I think next year, going forward, I think they're going into managed decline. Chelsea, well, I mean, that place is just a circus right now. Who knows what they're going to do? They've got a decent team. They've got some decent players. Still not got a striker. Still not got a goalkeeper. It's chaotic. Are they going to get rid of these players that they need to sell, like Raheem Sterling, or is it just going to be serious issues at their football club? You look at Man United, I still think they're 2-3 years away from competing for a league. And I don't think they're going to compete for a league with that manager. I honestly think that manager's a fraud, to be honest with you. If he's still there, I don't think they're going anywhere quick. But the new guys at the top, clearly, they know what they're doing. So I do think they'll come back eventually, but I still think it's going to take 2 to 3 years. You look at Newcastle, they look like a team that could potentially challenge for a league in a year, 2, maybe 3 years. But how is PSR going to affect them? Are they going to have to sell players to meet PSR, which is going to really hinder their progress? Are they going to have to sell a Bruno? Are they going to have to sell an Isak in a year or two's time? If they do, big problems. Because at the moment, I think they've got the second best striker in the league and one of the best, probably top 5 strikers in world football in Isak. They need to keep hold of him. I also think there's a lot of pressure on Newcastle to get back into the top Champions League because they don't get back into the Champions League this year. Players like Bruno, players like Isak, they need to be playing Champions League. These are Champions League players. These are quality players. I've just said Isak is a top 5 player, top 5 striker in the world right now. Top 5 striker in the world is not going to be too happy not playing Champions League. So I think Eddie Howe, he's under pressure this year, needs to get them in top 4, but they'll be there. Aston Villa the same. And then you look at Arsenal, who have a good team. They've got a decent squad. They've got a manager that's clearly capable of challenging for the league because he's done that 2 years on the bounce. But there seems to be something missing in the Arsenal squad. Mentality, is it there? Winning mentality, is it there? True ambition from the football club to win things, is it there? They go and spend 100 million on Rice and you're like, oh, hang on. Arsenal are serious. But then they don't fully capitalise on that and go even further. This year, it's looking like a really underwhelming transfer window for me. You're signing a defender, Calafiori, 40 mil, great. You already had the best defence in the league last year, and Timber didn't even play. So you've got him back, and now you've signed another one. Would that not have been better, that money being spent on an attacker, on a Saka cover, on another striker, on a creative midfielder? They're signing Moreno, who doesn't really create a great deal either. So I'm looking at them and thinking, no, listen, they're going to be there 100%. And they can win the league. But I always look at Arsenal, and this isn't just a recent thing. I always say this as well. We go back to the Luis Suarez deal, when they bid £40 million and a pound for Luis Suarez. If they would have signed Luis Suarez that summer, they would have won the league. And they didn't because they were penny pincher. I always feel that with Arsenal, it's in their DNA for a long time. They're always a good team. They're always up there, but they never win things because I always feel the transfer window just lets them down. And even when they have a good transfer window, you can still be critical and say, need to do that. So, cut a long story short, we're looking at everybody else in the league saying, well, you're in chaos, you're in managed decline, it's going to take you 2 to 3 years and your manager's crap. Our closest rival, Arsenal, are clearly a threat and they're not going anywhere. Let's be honest. They're going to be challenging for titles now for quite some time, I would imagine. But they don't quite do enough. Hence why I come to the conclusion that if we can get through the 115 unscathed, which our club is telling us that we will because they have irrefutable evidence, and irrefutable means impossible to deny, then I think we're entering into a period of dominance. And that is scary, considering that we've already dominated this league now for 10 years. Honestly, man, I think it's a fantastic time to be a Manchester City fan, pending 115 outcome. Yo, can we get some W's in the chat, please? Get some W's in the chat for my man Mukesh, 12-month member. Mukesh, member for 12 months, supported me for a whole year on the channel, helping me make the content. By the way, if you want to join Mukesh or any of the other members help me make content on the channel, you can become a channel member. The link is in the description, or you go to the pinned comment and you can help support me make the content on the channel. Big up to everyone that is a member, man. Verts Musiala for KDB, Pep extension, 115 cleared is the ultimate dream break. Every position is covered. Yeah, exactly. This next 12 months is a big 12 months because you're spot on. Right now, the only 2 players that I can see being at the quality level, yeah, to replace KDB is Verts and Musiala. Now, there will be new players this year because the players will have breakout seasons, right? So maybe there'll be a 3rd or maybe even a 4th this year. At the moment, they're the only 2. It's going to be over 100 mil easy. Pep extension and 115 cleared is the ultimate dream. Spot on. And big up again, Mukesh, for the 12 months. I do appreciate it, bro. Big up to Ben Yedder. Say pay the 115 panel if needed or threaten them. That's it, Ben. That's it. Come on. That's exactly what the reputation City fans need to have right now. Look at these City fans. They think it's funny to threaten the judges. Big up, Ben, man. Big up to Al as well. Says, we have Foden who can take over the KDB role. Yeah, but then you need another creative player for me. You know what I mean? I don't think you can just have one creative player in that sort of 10 area. So for me, if Foden is the new KDB, whatever, for me, you need another player. So the facts are, in my opinion, Al, you need another one coming through. Echeverry's there. Could Echeverry be good enough? If you've got Foden as the man who's stepping up going forward, you've got Echeverry coming through. Yeah, I mean, maybe Echeverry could be the guy. The point is, we need another player when KDB leaves in that creative area. Whether it's Echeverry, whether it's McAtee, whether it's this guy, whether it's Musiala, whether it's Verts. To be honest with you, don't really care. Obviously, everyone will have the preference, right? You'll all have the preference on, I think it should be this guy, I think it should be this guy. But so long as we get someone in who is good enough to do that job, then no problems. Do you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, next summer, man. I think next summer we could be spending 250 mil easy. 250 mil easy next summer. Easy. But to be honest with you, even though we're going to spend 250 mil, we're still going to make a lot of sales, man. Because, listen, for me, I'd give Kevin De Bruyne a contract anyway. I'd give Kevin De Bruyne a contract because even if he's going to leave next year, he's still worth 25, 30 mil. And he's got no book value, so that's straight up profit. So if you sign Kevin De Bruyne up for another 1-year deal, right? So then at the end of this summer, he's got 1 year left on his contract. And then Kev and the club are like, right, well, you're not actually staying. You could sell it to Saudi for 20, 25 mil, straight up profit, banks. You could sell it to New York City, 20, 25 mil, bank. Like, you can just sell him. So there's no point in really letting him go for a free. Sell him, get him on a new deal. And as well, like, get him on a new deal because what if he doesn't fall off? Everyone, the amount of people, the amount of people that I'm hearing say, KDB is going to fall off this season. Based off of what? You can't just say, oh, he's 34, 33, 34, so he's going to fall off this season. No. That's not how it works. Luka Modric, mate, was playing until he's 38. Now, is there a chance he falls off this season? Yeah, there's a chance he falls off because he's 34, 33, 34. And he's had these big injuries, yeah? But until you see it, until you visibly see him decline on the football pitch, I don't think you can just say he will. I don't think you can say he will this year. Why? You could say he might this year. You can't just say he will this year. Like, you can't just be so like insistent that this is the year that KDB falls off. I'm not being funny here. This guy missed half of the season, and ended up 4 G&A behind Martin Odegaard, who got in the team of the year. Martin Odegaard got in the team of the year and only got 4 more G&A than Kevin De Bruyne in the league. And Kevin De Bruyne missed half the season. And even when he come back, he didn't play every game. And he'd come off and got subbed on and that. Do you know what I mean? Like, the number, I think he finished the second or third highest assister in the Premier League. He didn't play a game till January. And even then, again, he didn't play every match. He was being subbed on and subbed off. I mean, come on, man. Like I say, I'm not saying that he's not going to fall off. Maybe he will, yeah. Maybe he will, but there's no guarantees. There's no guarantees. He could play for another 2-3 years. I've always said personally that I don't think Kevin De Bruyne will play until he's 36, 37, 38. Because to be honest with you, I don't think he's an athlete. Like when you look at Kyle Walker, right? He's ripped. He's got the muscles. He's an athlete, yeah. And you look at Kev. He's not an athlete, man. That guy's a pure born footballer. Like he was born with the talent. But we'll see, man. We'll see what happens with Kevin De Bruyne. Honestly, like it could be. We'll see in it. We'll see. Patty 15. So are you an Arsenal fan then, bro? I don't know who you're supporting it. If you're an Arsenal fan, am I scared of you? Well, it depends what you mean, bro. I don't stay awake at night thinking about Arsenal. You know what I'm saying? But you're a good team. Arsenal are a good team. Of course, you're a good team. You finished second 2 years on the row and pushed it. And well, the first year you bottled it. Second year you was ahead and then you lost against Villa. So you could say you bottled it, but you didn't bottle it last year. You're a good team. Arsenal are a good team. So of course I'm worried about Arsenal. Of course I'm worried that Arsenal potentially might win the league. 100%. But the problem is with Arsenal fans, yeah? Not all of them, but a lot of them. As soon as you say anything, as soon as you critique their football club at all, Arsenal fans just pop up, man, like meerkats, bro, and start defending everything about the football club. And, you know, very few Arsenal fans, there are Arsenal fans out there, but very few Arsenal fans can take constructive criticism. And they just cook you. And the perfect example is when you talk about Mikel Arteta. Because you say, oh, Arsenal, you need to win something this year, innit? Otherwise, maybe you have to move Arteta on because he's not winning anything. No, he can't do that. It's like, no. You don't understand. The reason why people have the Mikel Arteta conversation and talk about will he leave and will you sack him is because they recognise that Arsenal are a good football team now and should be winning trophies. It's not because we're scared of Arteta or scared of Arsenal. It's because fans recognise Arsenal are a good football team and you have a good players and you should be winning trophies. And you don't win trophies. So then people say, oh, at what point do you think you're going to get rid of Arteta then? Because, you know, you should be winning trophies because you're a good football team. And then they cook you. They come for you in mass. They come for you in mass. It's crazy, man. Crazy football club. Honestly, Arsenal, man, is one of the craziest football clubs out there. It really, really is. But you're a good team. That's why people talk about it, bro. People don't talk about it because we want you to sack Arteta. Like, I don't care what you're doing. The reason people speak about it is because people recognise that Arsenal are a good football team and should be winning trophies. And surely you agree with that. I imagine that you agree with Arsenal should be winning trophies, right? Yeah, crazy. By the way, guys, make sure you're smashing up the likes, man. Over 750 people tuned in, and we are 20 likes away from 300 likes. By the way, man, got some good content coming out for you, man. I got some good content. Me and MCFC lads are going down the Etihad Stadium today, so we're going to record some stuff there. Some of it could be quite funny as well. So make sure you stay tuned. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, and we'll get you that out on his channel, MCFC lads, and my channel as well when we've got that recorded. Let's see what you guys are saying. Let's see what you guys are saying, man. Liverpool will take over England. What you lot will eat your... Oh, he's a Liverpool fan. Oh, that's kind of brave coming in with that sort of chest when your club don't sign any players and clearly not that arsed anymore, to be honest with you. Let's see what you guys are saying, man. Is there anything else that you guys want to talk about on this stream? Because it is a bit of a random one. Big up Steve, by the way. Another W's in the chat, please. More W's in the chat. You ever see 12 months, man? Please spam the W's because that means a lot to me, man. 12 months of support is unreal. Yesterday, Liam Gallagher in the window explained, bro, it was... no, honestly, man, I was a little bit tipsy at that point, bro. I will accept. No, so I was walking down. I don't know what the road is. It's up towards Oxford Road. I was walking up to Oxford Road, right? And I was on the phone, obviously, and I looked up to my left, and there's a life-size cardboard cutout of Liam Gallagher in the window with a guitar next to him. And for a second, I thought it was Liam Gallagher. And it wasn't. It was a cardboard cutout, man. But it was a life-size. It was just there, life-size Liam Gallagher in the window with a guitar. And for a split second, I did think it was him. And I was like, oh my God, it's Liam Gallagher. And then I realised. You know what I mean? So yeah, that was weird. But I was a little bit. I'd had a few, to be fair, Steve. I had a few by then. Big up again for the 12 months, Steve. I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it. You really shouldn't be chasing planes while drunk, LP. That's crazy, man. White Deuce pundits and everyone saying Arsenal season wide, they discredit us like that after 4 in a row. Yeah, bro. To be honest with you, I don't know. I don't know why anyone would back Arsenal to be to win the league in a prediction, because we've won 4 in a row. We've made our team stronger, and Arsenal haven't really done much to close the gap. So maybe they're just bored of City winning the title, which is fair dues. If you're not a City fan, you probably are a bit bored of it. I understand. Maybe you're just desperate, so you're putting it in there. But I mean, even from that, if I try and be non-biased, I'm looking at the City team. I'm going, so you've added Savinho. That's an increase in sort of capability. Oscar Bob is, I know he's injured now until December, but when he comes back, he clearly looks mint. You've added Ilkay Gundogan. And I don't even think we played that honestly, man, I don't even think we played particularly well last year for a lot of the season. Genuinely, for a lot of the season last year, I didn't even think we played well. How many times was we doing streams and we was talking to each other and we won because we only lost 3 games, but like we come away saying we did play well, man. Every game, man, I felt like there was a period in the season. I think it was like December to like March or something, where like I'm pretty sure we didn't lose any games in that period, but like I don't think we played well. Obviously, there were games that we did play well, but a lot of the times we was doing player ratings and we were like, he didn't play well, but we were winning. And you know, Ruben Diaz didn't have a particularly great year. Kyle Walker didn't have a particularly great year. There was other players in there that didn't particularly have great years, but we still won the league. You know, is Ruben Diaz going to be? If you was to guess, is Ruben Diaz this year going to have a worse season than last year, the same or better than last year? I would personally say I think it's more likely that Ruben Diaz is going to have a better year than last year. Why? Why? Because I don't think he was particularly good last year. And I don't think that's his level. I think he's much better than he was last year. So I think he's going to get better than he was last year. Kyle Walker wasn't particularly great last year. He's probably going to get better this year. You know, Kevin De Bruyne missed half the season. Do you know what I mean? Haaland, by his own admission, said he didn't particularly have a great year. He said he felt injured quite a lot. He had pains in his legs, and now he feels fresh. He feels good. He don't have any pain. He said, for the first time in a long time, I feel good. I don't have any niggling injuries. You know what I mean? Grealish hardly kicked the ball. So that's again why I'm thinking it's a good time to be a City fan, and it's positive, man. It's positives. It really is. Let's have a look at some more comments, man. Let's have a look at some more comments. Sachin says, Xerxes brace at the Etihad. We will be there. We will be there. Says Sachin, I won't be there. Hopefully not. DGM1 says it's crazy that Diaz has won the title every season since he came. Yeah, bro, you know what's mad is, yeah? How like there's kids out there now who are like, what, 4 years old, 5 years old or whatever. And they've never seen City not win the title. You know how mad that is? You know how mad that is? You know how different my childhood would have been, yeah? If that was me. If that was me. These kids don't know how good they've got it, man. They honestly don't know how good they've got it. Do you know what I mean? And by the way, I when I was a kid, yeah, and I was going in like primary school and that, at least we were in the Premier League for the majority of it. Yeah. Some people older than me when they was kids, we were even in the Premier League or Division 1 or whatever. We was in lower leagues. Crazy, man. It's mad. These kids, honestly, 5 years old, yeah. Who is it? Is it Bevo's kid? I think it might have been Bevo's kid. You know, Bevo who comes on the channel with me. He was saying his kid, I'm sure it was him. He's saying his kid has never been alive when City have not been Premier League champions. The kid's like 4 or 5 years old. How mad is that, man? How crazy is that? Honestly, it's insane. That is insane. Funny part is Arsenal haven't won Premier League in 20 years. This is the thing with Arsenal, yeah, is, bro, City could overtake Arsenal as the 3rd most successful club in England very, very soon. Most titles in England, yeah? Let's have a look at this. Let's do some research on this. Yo, built the German chicken wing said the funny part is they say Arsenal will improve, but not City. Exactly. Now that's 100% factual information, chicken wing. They always say it. So I think Arsenal improve this year. Well, what about City? We've just signed Savinho and we've signed Gundogan. And a lot of our players weren't even necessarily that great last year. Kevin De Bruyne was out for half a season. It's like they just forget about it. I think it's more to do with the fact that they just really don't want City to win the league, hence why they say it, which is fair play. You know what I mean? You know, if Gary Neville was sat there on the TV and said, I'm going Arsenal to win the league, and the guy said, why are you going Arsenal over City, man? That's an interesting... And he just goes, why? Because I'm just absolutely desperate that City don't win the league again. Like, they've won 4 in a row. I really don't want them to win 5. I just want Arsenal to win it, hence why I'm going Arsenal. Like, fair dude, I'd respect it. I'd respect it a little bit more. But that is true, Chicken Wing. 100% that is true. Like, look at this. Look at this graph, yeah? Look at this graph. Look at this. Right? Let me zoom out a bit. There we go. Hopefully you guys can see that. So, currently, yeah, City are on 36 trophies. Arsenal are on 49. And then United and Liverpool are way up on 69, 68. So they're clearly the 2 biggest clubs in the country, right? Liverpool and United are clearly the 2 biggest clubs in the country. You know, I actually think, like, obviously, personally, I actually think Liverpool is the bigger club than United. And the reason I say that is not due to, I know revenue-wise, is because if you look at leagues, right, United have won 1 more league than Liverpool. But when it comes to European Cups, Liverpool have won 6. 6 European Cups. United have only won 3. And I think those 3 European Cups, personally, I mean, everyone's got their own opinion. I know United fans are really not going to like this, but my opinion is that those 3 Champions Leagues, in my opinion, are more impressive than that 1 extra league and the revenue and fan base or whatever. But that's my only personal opinion. Like I'm happy. I'm not going to get into a massive debate about it. If United fans want to be like, nah, it'll be that's cap. United, I'm not going to be sitting here defending it to the hill. Why would I defend it? But that's my genuine opinion. Anyway, when you look at Arsenal, right? City are on 36. Yeah. And Arsenal are on 49. However, look at the Super Cups, which is basically the Community Shield. Do we class Community Shields as legitimate trophies, people? Because currently, yeah, we have 13 trophies that are behind Arsenal. But if you do 49 trophies, which is Arsenal's total haul, and you take away the Super Cups, which is the Community Shield, because they're not real trophies, so you take 17 off 49, they're on 32 trophies. 32. Yeah? If you take away the Community Shield, because they're not real trophies, man. Let's be honest. And some people will be like, they are real trophies. Whatever. Actually, again, it's your opinion, right? I don't think they're real trophies. 32. That's what Arsenal's total. Yeah? 32 trophies. You say 36, take 7. We're now on 29. We're 29. So we're only 3 trophies behind them if you don't include the Community Shield. Which is, by the way, that is a completely reasonable thing to say because most people do not class the Community Shield as a legitimate trophy, right? Yeah, if you win it, you're going to celebrate it. Why wouldn't you? You're playing a rival in the Premier League, you're lifting a trophy, whatever, but let's be honest, no one's having a trophy parade for a Community Shield. Yeah, no one's doing that. Obviously, you know, you're going to celebrate it. Well, why wouldn't you? It's a bit weird if you don't, but it's not a real trophy, man. So this is the thing, mate. Like, there is a very, very, very, very realistic possibility that Manchester City could overtake Arsenal this year or next year on trophies. And they've never won a Champions League. So then what happens is, when we start doing who's the bigger club, the only thing Arsenal have got then is fan base. Which they do. They have a bigger fan base than Manchester City. 100%. 100% they have a bigger fan base. I mean, they've got one of the biggest fan bases in the world, Arsenal. Their fan base is insane. Insane. Mad. Crazy. Yeah, their fan base is wild. But that's all they've got because they've never won a Champions League and City could be ahead of them on trophies. So what they'll start doing is they'll start saying, oh, you're a plastic club. Oh, it was only invented in 2008. Blah, blah, blah, blah, blah, blah. Because that's all they've got. So don't get stressed when they start doing this, yeah? Because they're doing that because they've got nothing else to say. You know what I mean? And again, this is why it's important that Arsenal start winning stuff. Because, you know, you could be overtaken by Manchester City this year or next year, potentially, if it keeps going the way it's going on trophies, man. I mean, we've already overtaken Chelsea. Do you know what I'm saying? I think, actually, if you take away the Community Shields, they're still ahead of us. So you got to keep it 100 with that, yeah? But it's very close anyway. Within the next 2 years, City will likely be the 3rd biggest club in the country based off trophies. True. Nah, Ian, come on, man. No, come on, bro. Nah, 100%. No, just, bro, Ian, I've literally just said, bro, this is a factually incorrect comment because I've literally just said, I know you said this just before I said it. I literally just said Chelsea are above Manchester City if you are they above us? Yeah, Chelsea are above Manchester City if you take away our Community Shields. So City right now are still the fourth biggest club in the country based off trophies if you take away the Community Shields. So I'm not discounting it because it suits my narrative, because it doesn't suit my narrative when it comes to Chelsea. I'm being 100. Chelsea are still above Manchester City if you take away the Community Shields. I'm happy to do that. So City's still fourth. If my math checks out, because it says there, City on 36, Chelsea on 34. City won 7 Community Shields, whereas Chelsea have only won 4. So Chelsea would be, what, 1 ahead of us? Chelsea would be 1 ahead of us if you discount the Community Shields. I'm discounting the Community Shields, bro, so Chelsea is still ahead of us. So this is a factually incorrect comment. Although, to be fair, you did send this just before I said that, you know. But the point is, bro, City are going to be the 3rd biggest club in the country based off trophies won on the current projections of trophies. There we go. There we go. You know what I mean? Like, again, it's crazy. I don't know how we got here, by the way. We was meant to be speaking about João Cancelo, wasn't it? Time Silver, 1 month away from 12 months member. Says quadruple. We will be there. Let's get it done, man. Let's get it boxed off as well. Let's get it boxed off, man. Big up to you. Big up to you 11 months, man. Big up to 11 months. Yeah, I don't know how we got onto this. I don't know how we ended up here. How did we end up here? I don't know how we ended up here. It's a good conversation, though. I enjoy it. I enjoy it. Good, just random chatting it. Random football chats. Cool. Liverpool and United aren't that far ahead. Are they not? Let's have a look again. Sorry, bro. Yeah, so what are they on? So if they've got, yeah, so United really are the ones that are holding the L there if you take away the Community Shields, because they've won 21. But obviously, that sort of artificially boosts it. And again, listen, by the way, if you want to say that Community Shields are included, then fair. Like, at the end of the day, it's your own opinion, innit? I don't class them as real trophies, which benefits me for Arsenal because we get closer to Arsenal, but pushes us down to 4 because Chelsea are above us. So it just depends on your take. I don't class it as a real trophy personally. So yeah, now they have obviously, because they're more successful clubs in the country, they naturally have more Super Cups, which makes sense. So yeah, if you took 21 off United, for example, what they go down to 48, 47. They're still, I mean, to be fair, they're still way ahead. You know what I mean? City will be on 29. If you take away our Community Shield, City on 29. United are on like 46, 47. So they're still way ahead. Way ahead. Yeah, man. Gundogan's number 19, apparently. Ilkay Gundogan. Yeah, he's gonna be 19. Perone is going to Como with Cesc Fabregas, apparently, which that'll be a mint signing. I think that's a really, really good place, man. Really, really good place for him to go. Yeah, Maximo Perone is set to join Como on a season-long loan, but the deal is not expected to include an option to buy. Yeah, Fabregas is current manager there. So, I mean, to be honest with you, Perone, midfielder, there's not many better midfielders to learn under than Cesc Fabregas. Let's be honest. He was a fantastic midfielder. Unreal. I used to love watching him play, man. Used to love watching him play. Yo, big up to Martin. Starting from scratch. Can we get a right back in, please? I don't think we need one, man. Honestly, I don't think we need a right back. I think we're chilling. You know, we got Rico Lewis. Oh, by the way, I'm putting my full trust and faith in Rico Lewis this year. I'm backing him, man. I am. He's done nothing to deserve anything but backing and faith. I'm backing him. And even if it doesn't quite work out, you can play a Kanji there. And Walker, you know what I mean? Maybe he'll get better this year. He had a lot of shit going on in his life last year. Let's be honest here. He had a lot of personal things going on. How much did that take its toll? Maybe it's just an excuse. You know, for me, you know, I don't think we need one. I think next year, I think Walker will leave next year. I think next year get one in. But now, chilling, man. I don't think so. Hey, big up MCFC lads. He's preparing for the stream. We'll be there in 2 hours, man. Big up to MCFC. I'll see you in a bit, bro. When's your next FPL stream? Oh yeah, damn, I was meant to do that on Tuesday. Frick, man, I forgot. You know what? I'll just do it tomorrow, given the fact it's Thursday. I'll do it tomorrow. It'll be on More LB, second channel. Make sure you subscribe to the second channel, More LB. Link in description. And yeah, we'll do it tomorrow. And then I need to start remembering to do an FPL stream on a Monday or a Tuesday. Yeah, my bad. It's because I've only just started it, bro. I'm still not in the flow of doing the streams, but 100% we will be there. Frimpong. Well, Frimpong is a player that obviously has that release clause. He was at City in the past, potentially. Now, we know that Pep Guardiola had some sort of dialogue, or the club had dialogue with Frimpong. Obviously, nothing ended up materialising. I wonder if City said to Frimpong, wait it out one more year. I wonder if City said to Frimpong, one more year, and then we'll get you in. Because imagine if you had Rico Lewis and Frimpong. They're different. They're completely different fullbacks. So that would be like pretty good optionality. Again, it's all about optionality. When it comes to the wingers, you've got options, Grealish, Doku, different players. If you got Frimpong and then you got Rico Lewis as your two options at right back, great. You want to play a game where you want crosses, you want wing back flying in, maybe playing inverted winger. So you got overlapping runs, Frimpong. You want to dominate the midfield a little bit more and invert your full back, Rico Lewis. Again, different options, man. I like it. I love these options. And it's cheap as well, 35 mil apparently. But I don't think that's going to be this year. That'll be next year. Looks like Kabore is staying. I doubt he'll stay, bro. I doubt he'll stay. He'll be loaned somewhere, man. Probably, if they can't get him a club, they'll just loan him to a CFG club, man. They will. By the way, guys, make sure you are smashing up these freaking likes, baby. Over 670 people tuned in. Let's get the likes to 350 likes, man. Hit that thumbs up button. Make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel. And by the way, make sure you watch the video I did on More LB yesterday, the Kyogo reaction video. Interesting guy. It looks good. Right, cool. Shreya's just going to film some content, Bray. That's it. Right, I think that's it. I think we're done. We're done an hour. That was an interesting stream. We went off mad tangents there. Thoughts on Sterling downfall? Sad. Is it predictable? Potentially. I always thought there was something dodgy going on there, man, when he joined Chelsea and said, I'm here to win the Ballon d'Or. Nah, he was never going to win the Ballon d'Or, bro. You're not good enough. Like, that's why are you saying that? And I just thought, when a player like that says something like that, I'm like, nah, man. Like, something dodgy there. And, of course, Pep Guardiola, man, makes a lot of players better than they are. When these players are playing mid, because let's not make no mistake about it, yeah. Sterling had that calendar year when he was phenomenal. He was up there with Ronaldo and Messi, right, in numbers, goals and assists. He was absolutely, everything he hit just went in the back of the net, yeah. Everything he hit went in the back of the net. But how much of that was due to Pep? And then obviously, I think the false 9 year did not help Sterling. He needed a target, man. And that's why I was kind of gutted, to be honest with you guys. I'll tell you the truth, man. I was kind of gutted when he left because I think he would have slammed it with Haaland. I really do. I think just Sterling taking on his man, putting a ball in the box for Haaland, I think it would have been great for him. But listen, he obviously, Pep didn't pick him because he was out of form, out of confidence. He obviously had some sort of disagreement with Pep. He left. And it's gone downhill. But listen, I think I've noticed now, yeah, over this last week or so, that everyone is starting to talk about the grass ain't greener when you leave City. You know what I mean? We've had this conversation a few times, so I'm not going to go into it again. But how many players have actually left this football club and gone on to do better things? And even if they've gone on and had a good, had a good season like Palmer, they're still not won anything. Do you know what I mean? So I think players now, surely, if you're a player and you're thinking about potentially leaving, surely you've got to look at history. You've got to look at the history of the players that have left and gone, it's not worked for them, it's not worked for them, it's not worked for them. Literally, no one works, bro. What's going to make you any different? If Harden left, obviously he's fine. There's a couple of players that can leave, obviously, and do well. Kevin De Bruyne, Haaland, Bernardo, they'd all go on and play well, right? But some players are just good players that Pep makes good. Because this is a myth. Oh, Pep doesn't develop players. Well, how come every player that leaves his football club has a worse career when they leave? I don't know, 5%. Well, people don't want to accept that. People don't want to acknowledge that. You know what I mean? Pep improves players, but people just don't think he does. It's stupid, man. There we go. Right. Big up to everyone, man. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this random stream. If you want something else to watch, go and check out that video done on More LB yesterday on Kyogo Furiashi from Celtic. Links in the description, More LB. I'll be back later on tonight anyway. I'll do another stream. I'm back on with Dan United. He's back today. We're going to do a City United Liverpool talk. That'll be on the channel later on tonight. And this content that I'm going to filming at the Etihad Stadium with MCFC lads, man. So listen, guys, big up for joining me as always. Let me shout out the super chatters, man. Big up to Mansour earlier on for the big 20 gifted off the rip, man. That's crazy. Big up, man. I always appreciate the support. LB with the super chat. Sir Alan with the super chat. Chicken Wing, Marcus Ninja, Mukesh, Ben Yedder, all with the memberships. Big up to Alan, Steve M with the 12 months membership, and Sign Silver with the 11. I appreciate you guys, as always. Smash a like on the stream. If you're watching back on replay, give me a comment down below. And people, I will catch you in the next one. See you later.